Hi, I'm Yolanda Carvajal, and this is Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is a podcast regarding women entrepreneurs that are making a difference in their community by opening a foundation or participating in a cause that they really love. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing you to Mila Esquerdo. Mila Esquerdo has a consulting company called Get Red and also a beautiful foundation called Get Red Foundation. I would like to introduce you to Mila. Hi, Mila.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you.
It's an honor.
I love your story. I would like to
thank...
And
I love Wonder Woman.
And I would like to thank Candy because she introduced me to you. So, hi, Candy. She's wonderful.
She's awesome.
So, when we spoke, I learned a lot about you. So, please tell me a little bit. I know you're Cuban. And you're from Santiago de Cuba.
Yes, I am.
So if you could tell us a little bit how you got to the United States.
Of course. So in 1980, my family and I, my mom, my dad, and my sister, we came through the Mariel Lift.
Wow.
Yeah. And early in my life, I always knew that that I wanted to do something impactful with my work. And so while I was studying, I decided that I wanted to be in the field, anything that had to do with making people's dreams come true, whatever
Amen.
that was.
Yes.
So that was very clear to me from a very young age because of us being immigrants. And I've been blessed to do just that.
And I know you're in the banking world. Mm-hmm. And so you open your beautiful consulting company.
Yes.
And I know you're helping small businesses, and it's called Get Red Consulting. So
Get Red Consulting was born earlier this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Because the Lord, literally this was from God. It's a God thing. He, in March, said, it's time.
Amen.
It's time for you to realize your own dreams as an entrepreneur, but also to give back.
Yes.
And that's the same time Get Red Foundation was born, actually on April 5th, which is my birthday. Funny enough.
Look at that.
The day
it's my daughter's birthday too.
Really?
Yeah,
the 501c3 came in on April 5th. So my foundation was born on April 5th.
Wow. And what does your consulting company do?
So Get Red Consulting it was formed to help small business owners get their financials in order, their projections, and their business plans to be able to qualify for an SBA loan.
Okay.
So through Get Red Consulting, I do my SBA work, but I also consult for the financial institutions, community banks, credit unions that want to really get into the SBA space. In 2020, a lot of banks and credit unions started doing PPP loans.
Right. I remember that.
They thought that PPP loans were equivalent to SBA lending, and it's not. It's a whole different ballgame. Although these are both from government guaranteed funds, it is a different ballgame. There's standard operating procedures. There's rules and regulations. It's a niche lending product that I really want the banks to do well. So that is my goal as a consultant, is to not just help my business owners, but also help the banks do it well.
And I imagine you're helping a lot of small business owners.
Yes. So it's under the SBA lending program, the maximum loan amount is $5 million.
Okay.
So I basically help the small businesses just gather all of their information. People are running their businesses, so they really don't know the eligibility and the rules. So my goal is to educate the small business owners, but also help the banks to be more effective in the community through lending in this program.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing, because that's a whole world,
Yes.
And it's very hard to, when you start your own business, how to start, and knowing that you have that opportunity or that option, that's a great thing,
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
And I don't give up. I love to help my small business owners. I don't give up.
We find solutions, right?
It's a blessing. Yeah. Sometimes it's a curse, but I do not give up. And so my goal is to start a certification program where the brokers, the small business owners, and the banks are doing the loans, processing these files, closing, originating based on Get Red standards.
Wow.
So that's a certification program that I want to start in the next 3 years.
So I want to go a little bit back.
Yes.
I know the reason why you started Get Red Foundation, right? So that's a very touching story, not only for you, but for family members as well, I imagine.
Yep.
So I know you were a former dancer.
Yes.
Can you tell me what is the purpose of Get Red and how it started? What was that journey that you went through?
Absolutely. So in 1995, I was dancing for college. I had a scholarship for Miami-Dade. I was studying my business administration degree.
Miami-Dade has done so many wonderful things.
Yes, they really have. And so while dancing with the team, I was very tired. I felt very exhausted. And I was getting bruising all over my legs, like bruising as if somebody was like hitting me with a bat.
Wow.
And I didn't understand what was happening. And so after many, many months, finally, my mom's like, we're going to the hospital. And when the hospital, we went to a doctor, the doctor my mom worked with, and when he saw my blood work stat, he was in shock. Like you could see it in his face. He's like, I don't know how your daughter is dancing. Like much less, I don't know how she's walking, much less dancing. So
all the spirit.
It's
in you.
It's in me.
It was in you.
And so we went straight to Baptist, and I was there for a little over a month.
Oh, wow.
Because they couldn't figure out what was going on. Finally,
How old were you? If
19.
19.
I was 19, and they diagnosed me with a very rare blood disorder called aplastic anemia. Aplastic anemia affects 1 in a million.
Wow.
It's very rare.
Not very well known.
And not very well known. And there's many other blood disorders that are just as rare. And so in 70% of those cases, the medication that they had would work. It did not work for me. So after many blood transfusions, I had many family members and friends that donated blood. I was diagnosed, and the only option was a bone marrow transplant.
Wow.
At that time, my parents had lost their job. We didn't have insurance.
Oh my God.
So it was a really, really
difficult time.
Desperate time. We had a lot of hardships. And so one of the things that I want to do through Get Red Foundation is help those families that are going through this process of a bone marrow transplant, because for a year, these families can't work. Mm. They don't have income. And in many cases, they don't have insurance.
Caregivers play such a huge role.
Huge role.
And for the recovery of the patient. And a lot of them give up their jobs.
That's right.
To be able to take care of their loved ones.
It's true. And thank you for bringing that up, because every year Get Red Foundation is going to honor a family. This year, we are starting a fundraiser for HEMA. It's called Helping Hands for HEMA. And it's to help for 3 months cover the expenses the family needs to be able to give the care that she needs. In her case, her husband had to leave his job. He does Uber Eats and Uber type of jobs to be able to have income, because they have 2 little boys. Wow. She can't work. She's going to go through the bone marrow transplant, God willing, in January. We were able to get her into the Moffitt Memorial Cancer Center for her transplant. We were able to get her insurance, and God willing, in January she's going to have her transplant. So it's amazing.
Congratulations!
So, I know
on it's a huge step.
A huge step.
Because every step that you move forward in helping that person, it's a huge step, and it needs to be celebrated, right?
Yes.
Because not everybody has that luck to have a step, right?
Yeah.
And you're giving her that step, which is amazing.
It's a blessing. And, I look at her and I think about myself, it's, there's so much, there's not enough knowledge of the needs, that the caretakers have. There's not enough knowledge of the awareness, right, for bone marrow transplants. People don't realize how easy it is to get in the registry to be a donor. Now they have cheek swabs. Get Red Foundation has partnered with The Gift of Life.
I was going to just ask you that question.
And
I love that story about gift.
Yes, The Gift of Life. Their founder had his bone marrow transplant July of 95. The difference was that he did not have a match. Wow. So his mother, I believe it was over a period of 4 to 5 years, was moving heaven and hell to find a donor, and she did. It was actually one of their volunteers who was helping them, who turned out to be a match.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes, so
God
crazy.
put that person right there for him
The whole time.
for her. Is it a hit?
It's a her.
It's a her.
And they're actually gonna have a PBS special on this story.
Oh wow!
Yes, I can.
And you're joining with them, right? You're collaborating together, correct?
Yes. So we've partnered with the Gift of Life. We're going to start having the cheek swabs at colleges and churches.
I love that you're going to churches. That's very important.
Yes, it is.
Colleges are obviously great, but churches are, I think we forget to go to churches to inform the churches of what's going on in our community regarding, diseases and things that are happening.
And the needs.
And the needs.
Part of a great church. It's called One Name Church. And so I want for our youth and our young adults to understand the needs and to be a part of this registry. So, for bone marrow transplant success, the ideal age group is 18 to 35. So that's why we want to help Gift of Life go into the colleges and get the awareness out there, because people just don't know.
And you mentioned to me that your daughter's already helping you in this process. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yes, my daughter, she's my first miracle because I had my transplant at 19.
And who was your donor?
My sister.
Your sister.
My sister, she was only 17 at that time. Yeah.
What a blessing that you had her.
Yeah, she was a perfect match.
Amen.
So I had the transplant at 19. I got married at 21. And when I got married, I told my husband, listen, I don't know if we can have kids because the chemo is so intense when you have a transplant that it kills the good cells, but it also kills the bad cells, but it also kills the good cells. And so I was blessed to have my first miracle, Vivi, at 23 and my son at 26.
Congratulations.
So Vivi is very active, with my son too. And so she's been a spokesperson. She's been, very influential in speaking to our partners. And she's going to lead all the college campaigns. So I'm so excited. I know. I'm so excited.
It's going to be a family thing.
It is.
Oh, that's amazing.
It is a family affair.
Yes.
And, back to the caregiver for a moment, because I don't think I told you this, but folks don't realize that, my mom would sleep in my bone marrow transplant unit with a mask in a very uncomfortable bed for a month. Wake up, brush her teeth, go to work, go home, cook a fresh meal for me, come back to the hospital and do it again. I was blessed to have that. But the reason why I'm doing healing hands for a patient every year is because people like Hema, by the way, does not have that. Wow. And I take it for granted because I had it. I had my mom there. I had my sister there. But some people like Hema don't. She has a husband, but her husband has to take care of those kids.
She's a mom.
And so these are needs that we tend to overlook. And so every year, Get Red Foundation is going to honor a family through the Healing Hands campaign.
That's amazing.
To help with all of the needs of
it's so important.
Patient. Yeah.
So important too, because when you listen to everybody that's going through a disease, or if it's cancer, whatever it may be, it's the caregivers that you need to also help. It's not only the patient.
Yeah. If
you help the caregivers, they have more energy to be able to help the patient.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And there's actually people that their siblings tell them, no, I don't want to be a donor, or their moms are like, no, I'm too busy. I can't take care of you.
Wow.
And it's a real thing.
I've been blessed with a family that's always there.
Me too.
So we're lucky that way.
We're blessed.
Yeah, we're blessed.
But we don't realize that there's others that have a little bit less than we have,
Yes, that's true.
So that's part of the things that Get Red Foundation.
So one thing you mentioned to me as well, that your doctor, you've kept in touch with your doctor.
Yes.
And he's part of your board, which I think that's so wonderful because you guys have a connection.
Yeah, I didn't stop bothering him over the last 29 years. If he was here, he's like, yeah. He would always tell me, you're my favorite patient. I'm like, you better say that, because one day I'm going to have a foundation and you're going to be a part of it. And he's accepted to be on the board.
That's excellent.
And he is amazing. He's amazing. Him and I had lunch the other day. And he says, when you had your transplant, that was only like my second year of being, an oncologist.
Wow.
And now it's been 29. So
Wow.
he's dedicated his life to this work.
Wow.
And he's awesome.
Well, that's great.
Shout out to you, Hugo Fernandez.
Oh.
He's amazing.
So, what is the future? What's the future of Get Red?
So my goal this year, our fundraising goal for this year is $150,000, right? We have to form an operational team. We have to do all the things that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have to spread awareness and spread the help, right? So we have the Memorial Moffitt Center, we have the Baptist Center, we have Jackson and and we want to be able to have an outreach of each one of these hospitals to be able to come in and help patients heal through dance.
Oh, that's right. Because that's amazing.
So we want to just gather the stories of,
you're putting your passions together.
Exactly.
Amen.
Exactly. And I think that's why the foundation was formed so fast, because you're uniting the medical research, the medical needs with the arts.
Yes. And I love the arts.
Yes.
I mean, the arts fill everybody's heart with hope.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's exactly right. So we envision a concert. Imagine a huge concert recital that you have 20 to 25 performances, and each one of those performances are telling a story and leaving a legacy for that patient.
Wow.
At the end of the performance, you have the backstory, and you have the patient, if they are a survivor, come out to the stage. And so those funds will be able to help us with all of the needs in all of the hospitals, with the families. It's hard.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I know. But it's a legacy.
Right.
Because if we can tell a story.
Right. And you're helping that family heal.
Of course.
That are doing that dance or that story for that family.
Yes.
Because it's important to share what you went through, right?
That's exactly right. Aside from that, when I was little, we lived in Tampa for a season, and we had a lot of, hardships. Right? Mm-hmm. My parents were two immigrants trying to figure it out in the United States. And so Tampa offered like a scholarship for underprivileged kids that allowed us to dance. So I took everything: tap, jazz, acrobat. Like I took every dance you can think of. And I want to be able to do that here in South Florida. But that's just in the first 3 years. I want to be able to do this nationwide, worldwide. And I want Get Red to be a global brand. Just like you have the pink ribbon for cancer, I want the red butterfly, to be known, linked to rare blood disorders and bone marrow transplants, because it is a time of rebirth. Having a bone marrow transplant is a rebirth. My original birthday, I told you, was April 5th, but my rebirth was July 24th.
I was going to bring that up. You have 2 birthdays.
2 birthdays.
Do you celebrate both of your birthdays?
I celebrate my April, my original birthday, and July is more of just like every year I always talk about the needs, so that the audience and the people that have me on social know. I also have Facebook groups that I give these people hope, inspiration. I counsel to them. I reach out to the families, and that's really been what I've been doing my Julys in the last 29 years. And now it's just a matter of bringing these stories to the stage.
Wow. To
help fundraise and help. That's it. My goal is just to help. Some of my board members that I've been interviewing, they tell me, you need to slow down. You can't help everyone in the SBA world and in the foundation world. You're going to go crazy.
Baby steps. But you'll get there, You get there.
We need to have the right board that has the same passion, the same drive, and the same
Are you looking for more board members?
We are.
Okay.
We are.
So if they want to reach out, if someone's interested, can they reach out to you?
Yes, they can reach out to me.
How can they reach out to you?
They can reach out to me at info@getred2ds.org.
And for donations or finding out the events?
For donations via Zelle, it's also info@getred2ds.org. Okay. And you can follow us on all of the social media platforms: LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Get Red Foundation. Remember, 2 Ds.
2 Ds.
Yes.
2 Ds.
Don't forget.
And you went through this process, right?
Yeah.
What advice can you give someone that's going through this right now? what advice can you give the families that are going through this?
I love that question. My advice is always seek the Lord first. I will tell you that if it wasn't for my faith at that time,
Amen.
that's the only, if you don't have that faith, it's hard. So I want to be able to talk to folks about faith. I want to be able to talk to them about hope. I want to be able to give them, look, I
believe.
I had the transplant. I survived. I have 2 healthy kids. They're helping me with the foundation. Like, I want to give families that hope. Because a lot of times, like, I look at Hema, for instance, which is my first patient that we're helping. She's 32 and she's just desperate. And she's like, they denied disability, they denied Medicaid, they denied this. So people are really frustrated. And so my goal is like, here we can get insurance. Here's my bone marrow transplant doctor. Here are resources. How can we fundraise? How can we help? So I want to give people that peace that right now it's kind of lacking.
It's lacking, especially in the medical world. It's going through so many other avenues now, and it makes it more difficult to find that peace. So I appreciate what you're doing. It's a beautiful cause.
It's a God thing.
And you're bringing awareness to a disease that is not very well known. And I think as time keeps going further, we're learning that there are a lot of diseases that are not getting recognition because they're, they don't have the funding, or it's not very well known. There's not a lot of patients that have it, but there are a lot of rare diseases out there, and you're bringing this one to our light. And I really appreciate that.
Yes. And I think that every single person that agrees to do a cheek swab and join a registry, that is just a little piece of that hope that you're giving to someone, that there's possibility of surviving, and there's possibility of a future. And amazing. For me, that's everything. That's my fuel.
Well, I really appreciate you being here with me today. I loved your story. I love learning because I've learned something new today. It's always important to educate and teach people about what's out there, and learn something new every day. And you did that for me today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You are wonderful.
Really appreciate you.
And many blessings to you and your family. Have a wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I know.
I can't believe it's December.
I can't believe it's going to go like this. And I really want to thank you. And Candy, too, for referring me to you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
I wish you only pure success with many blessings over it.
Thank you so much. I just hope that we are able to just put that little mustard seed.
Mustard seed. I was going to say it. Mustard seed. Well, I want to thank everybody today for joining me. And I would like to thank the community newspaper for allowing me to have this podcast. I really enjoy it so much, and I really love sharing all of these stories with you. I hope you give me the opportunity to keep growing with you guys. And also, I will have another podcast next week, next Thursday. There will be 2 Thursdays of the month. I don't know which Thursdays, but there will be every month, twice a month. So I hope you join me next week. And always remember to never give up on hope, and always, always, always believe. Have a blessed day, and thank you again for being with me here today.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.